Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to study about value and satisfaction, which is related to marketing. So whenever we talk about, first I'll talk about value and then I'll talk about what satisfaction is. So whenever we talk about value, we think it as a quantitative term, right? We want to describe the value in the form of numbers or in the form of quantity, right? But when we talk about marketing, value is something different. Value is not quantitative there, it is somewhat qualitative, right? So when I am talking about value, if specifically defining it, or in a layman language, when I tell what value is basically whatever you are getting in exchange of whatever you have given. So explaining it in the marketing point of view, when I am paying for a certain kind of a product and when I am using it, the benefits that I am getting from using or consuming that product is known as the value that I have gotten from that product. So here, as I've already mentioned also, value is when a customer perceives, right? Value can also be of two types. Sometimes what happens is that there is some product and we perceive it without even consuming it. We perceive the value, that what are the benefits that we are getting out of that product. And sometimes, not sometimes, generally what happens is that after consuming that product, we understand the benefit of that product and the usage and the utility of that product within our lives. That is the form of value that we are talking about. So value is when a customer perceives that whatever goods or services he or she is purchasing or dealing with a certain kind of company or a certain kind of brand or a certain kind of product, what is the benefit they are getting out of it, right? So as I've just mentioned, that consumer will see that what the value of the product is as what he or she has assumed it, or what he or she has perceived it as, and what are the expectations regarding that product, and is that product has performed according to that. So the gap, or the difference jo bhi uska hoga, that will give us the correct value. It may be positive also, it may be negative also. Because whenever we talk about marketing, it's not like कि हम हमेशा ही जो products use करें हमें अच्छे लगे, right? और ये भी हो सकता है कि every time that we get our product gives us certain kind of benefit. So it depends on customer to customer that how are they going to perceive it, how are they going to set a benchmark for a certain product, and how the product has performed up to the mark or not. So that calculates the value of the product. So whenever I talk about that what value is, value can be computed as the total benefit that I have received from the product minus the cost of the product, right? The benefit minus cost gives me the value of the final product. And when I'm talking about value, value is a pre-purchased assessment. Generally, whenever I'm seeing certain kind of product, I am assuming that, okay, if I'm purchasing a shampoo for ₹100, in ₹100, it will give me certain kinds of benefit. That is the pre-purchased assessment. Right? Even after purchasing it and we are consuming it and we are seeing the level of expectation it is meeting or not is also giving us the value of the product. Now I'm talking about the satisfaction. So when I talk about satisfaction, satisfaction is a kind of feeling which cannot be quantified. It is a cognitive and a qualitative thing, and satisfaction is something that after using that product we are good, or the benefit that we expected is given by the product, and it has the price that we have given has done all the justice, and there is a feeling of happiness, of goodness within us, which define that okay, we are satisfied, right? the customer satisfaction is, when I talked about value, it was pre-assessment. And when I talk about satisfaction, it is post-assessment, that when we have used that product, only then we are able to tell that we are satisfied or not, or what is the percentage of satisfaction, or what is the level of satisfaction that the product is giving to us, right? So whenever we'll talk about value and satisfaction, value is pre-assessment, wherein satisfaction is post-assessment of anything, any product or any service that we receive, right? So students, here I'll be talking about the value delivery process and the value chain, which is an important topic when it comes to UGC NET management as well as commerce, because there are number of times wherein, from the delivery process or from the, value chain, the questions have come, right? So here, when I talk about the value delivery process, there are basically two things. One is the traditional process that used to happen, and not anymore. I believe maybe there are just a handful of people who will be using this, and there is, a modern method of this value delivery. So let's see and go through it, that what all these things are. So the traditional view of marketing, or the traditional process, is that first we'll make the product and then we'll sell the product. Here in the diagram, as I've already mentioned here, making the product and selling the product. So here what the companies were doing is that they were first making the product, right? They were not even doing, the market research or the survey or any kind of thing. They were first focused on themselves, that okay, these are the products and this is what we are going to serve into the market, and people will have to purchase the product. So the marketing part here, and not even marketing, it was just the selling part that was done in the second half, and beforehand everything was planned regarding what the product will be. And earlier the firms used to even make profit out of these kind of strategies. Why? Because this kind of strategy or this kind of method can be very easily applied, or it is be successful in those kind of countries, in those kind of economies or market wherein the number of options for the particular product that you are serving is very less. Somewhere there is a kind of monopoly when it comes to your product, and the consumers do not have any other option, or you have such a competitive edge that nobody is entering that market. So in that sort of economies like North Korea, wherein the options for number of products the consumer can have is very limited. There are certain brands, there are certain things that are not allowed to be used by those people. Like recently I've heard that in North Korea, K-pop, which is Korean pop, which is a very good music genre of South Korea, it is not allowed, and all those songs and videos are not allowed for the people of North America to look and to listen to, right? So there are very less number of options for the number of product that the customers can use. So there this traditional kind of a thing can work. But I don't believe that now there are certain kind of markets wherein you have a monopoly, and where, like in India, if I talk about, there is monopoly in railway and every all these things. So वहाँ पे भी जो है कस्टमर्स को इतना ऑप्शन नहीं होता. अगर मैं रेलवे की बात करूँ तो इंडियन रेलवे इज द ओनली कंपनी जो कि सारा रेलवेज देख रही है. सो पीपल डू नॉट हैव द ऑप्शन. सो वट एवर द चार्जेस दे आर मेकिंग, वट एवर द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस आर देयर, वो उनको फॉलो करना ही पड़ेगा. बट दिस आर फॉर अ वेरी हैंडफुल ऑफ गुड्स एंड फॉर वेरी हैंडफुल ऑफ द मार्केट्स, नॉट एवरीबडी. सो इट इज अ वेरी ओल्ड lifestyle, and generally if nowadays I talk about, so all these things or this delivery process will not work in today's environment and dynamics. So now moving towards the value creation and delivery sequence, it is called the modern time value delivery process, wherein the business believes that the planning for the product is secondary, but first we have to do the research that how can we create value to the customer. And how do we create value to the customer? By first doing the research, by first seeing that what are the segments that we can serve, what are the needs of the segment for those for our product, will our product fit into that segment, what kind of pricing should we do, what are the features should we do. All these things are the preparation which is done beforehand manufacturing the product. So all this research is done, and after that the production of the certain product is done, and after that all the things are delivered. So here when I talk about the modern time or the value creation and delivery sequence, herein it is divided into basically 3 phases. See students, this topic is important as far as your exam is concerned, as well as whenever you go into some kinds of interviews or something and you say, sir, I like marketing. So marketing mein generally value delivery has been asked. If you are saying that marketing आपका favorite है या फिर आपको अच्छी knowledge है उसमें. So value delivery and value and satisfaction is a topic which is generally very much asked. So basically it is divided into 3 main phases. First is choose the value for the product. How do we choose the value? As I've already told you that it is a kind of homework that the marketing team does. Homework as in, what is the market segment that we are looking for? What is the market selection, market segment we have seen? Then what kind of customers that we want to target, and what is the value positioning that we have to do for our product? So all this choosing the value is the homework that we do for our products. Next phase is the providing the value phase. Providing the value phase, here what we do is, now we have studied or we have identified that what are the particular needs and wants of the customer, and according to that we are developing our product. We are providing that kind of service that they need. We are doing pricing, we are doing sourcing, and we are distributing it as and when required by the customers. Right? So first is choosing the value, then providing the value. We have first researched, then we have manufactured according to that, priced according to that, and even distributed that what is our target segment, what is the available spots that they can easily go to and access our product. Right? All these things are do come under providing the value to the customer. And next is the third phase, wherein we communicate the value. How do we communicate? We communicate it by promoting our product. So every product needs different kind of communication. So some personal selling can be done, some advertisements can be done, some sales promotion can be done, and all other methods can also be used according to what your product and service is. Right? So all the 3 phases combinedly now make the delivery process. And if you remember that what is the definition of marketing is, it is first identifying that what is the needs and wants of the customer, right? And according to that, developing that product, and after developing that product, providing the product to that customer, and receiving feedback and do the improvement. So here is the same process that we have identified in choosing the value, then we have manufactured according to that, that is providing the value, and then we have communicated it, and through communication we provide information to the customer, customers provide information to us, and that's how modification and some kind of improvements can be done. So this is the whole new modern time value delivery process, right? So this kind of value delivery is now, you know, very much popular nowadays, and every firm which focuses on targeting goes for this type of delivery process, right? Then is you know, after this modern time, and there are, you know, many different kind of value delivery processes that excuse me, there are many different kind of value delivery processes which the companies are, you know, doing for themselves and their companies, and there are number of peoples who have bifurcated this value delivery process according to themselves. One of the most popular is by the Japanese, wherein we know how Japanese are. They are very hardworking, and you know, they want everything to be perfect. So here there is a Japanese value delivery process wherein they have you know, given some bullet points that I'll be telling you, that how do we create value to the customer. So firstly is the zero customer feedback time. So all this Japanese value delivery process is associated with that whatever the value we are trying to give, or whatever the feedback, or whatever the things that we are doing for marketing, we do not have to waste time. As soon as something happens, the action should be taken. Right? So for every action there should be a reaction. This is the value delivery that the Japanese want to create. So zero customer feedback time is whenever some product is purchased by a customer and some kind of complaint or some kind of feedback is given to you, as soon as you receive it, it should be improved without wasting any time, right? Next is zero product improvement time. As I've already told you that whenever a customer gives feedbacks, you have to उस पे तुरंत action लेना, you have to react to that accordingly. And whenever the company is evaluating all the ideas, all the products that already have, and they have to, if there is a kind of improvement or there is a kind of gap that they are seeing, with zero wastage of time, you have to improve that product. So here when we are just removing the time gap in acting and reacting, then we are creating value by serving large number of people, by improving within us and with a shorter span of time.